And we have the mini-boss. The Dark Nut. Despite how intimidating they look, they're not that hard to deal with. You have to use a parry on them. Oh, he actually held onto his sword. They can be quite tough, but after you get rid of their helmet, you can stun them. Actually, you usually have to get rid of their helmet. You can then easily hit their backs to get rid of that armor. How did that not hit me? They actually can be quite formidable foes, because they actually have decent AI. Like, you saw that one was actually easily dodging all my attacks. I would say Miniska was probably there when they were at their hardest, because you can do their reaction commands and stuff. Okay, that was weird. As well as the fact that it could be kind of difficult to hit their back, because you actually cannot get rid of their armor in Minish Cap. All that happens is instead you just deal damage to them via the back. So Twilight Princess's Dark Nuts might also be the hardest as well. And the Hero's Bow. Nice. Always a good weapon to have in the Zelda games. Relatively versatile, I guess. It's, easy to aim. Let's see if I can do that one. See? Not that hard to aim. With this, we can now get a few other things that I could not get at the time because, we had no way of getting those eyes. As you saw in that room when I defeated Dark Nut, it dropped a Knight's Crest. There are only enemies in the game who drop it. Keep that in mind. Now, what's pretty awesome about it is, in Orca's house, you will find that he has a Knight's Crest there. And the only way he could have gotten it is by actually defeating a Dark Nut. Which would mean he is actually defeated one, which makes him awesome. Or rather, badass. I don't know, I'm just throwing that out there. I thought it was cool. And purple dots represent... Now, a nice touch I like with what they did with the bow in this game is that if it hits a certain surface, like here, like look at this, it'll actually stick to it and you can collect it if it didn't hit an enemy or something. Which is very realistic, I like that. But if it hits like a metallic surface, it'll just bounce off and you can't collect it. I always liked those little touches in Zelda games. Shows that Nintendo went the extra mile. If only Game Freak would do that, instead of trolling us with some things like Rotom flying form, having Levitate and being a flying type. Seriously. I'm not sure if that's Game Freak trolling us, or just a really bad oversight on their part. Anyway, I'll meet you near the other eye. So, right over there we have that annoying enemy I was talking about. That's a wizrobe. They're not that hard to deal with, as you can see there, but they can be a real pain later in the game, because one of them actually gets the ability to spawn enemies. Ranging from just about, I guess, anything. Sometimes depending on where you encounter it. But they can be really a pain, because they're not that strong to deal with. They're more of, like, supportive enemies, I guess. I don't know. We have Armos Knights over here, which are actually not that hard to deal with, probably among the easiest enemies to deal with. They are similar to the Darknut swords, though, in that they can break down these pillars, though I doubt there's anything of use in them, sadly. It would be nice to get some magic, but of course I don't. Joy Pendant. That was so worth it. Now, that little impish enemy, that statue, that's the game's equivalent of Armos. Regular Armos. They're not that hard to deal with, you don't have to I thought I stunned that. Okay, that's... Are they glitching or something? Because you're not supposed to recover that easily after being stunned. And no, you don't have to defeat them by stunning them. You just have to go around back and hit them in their glowing purple spot for massive damage. I'm actually kind of low on magic, though. So here we have something interesting. You check this. And this is another use for the Wind Waker. Well, rather the Wind's Requiem. Making chests spawn via the wind. And this is actually something useful. I kinda wish there was more to this dungeon, cause it is a very big dungeon, as you can tell. Well, I mean like the entire structure of it, but... Oh wow, I never showed off the entire layout of the dungeon. But anyway, we have the first floor, which we already did. Second floor, which we're almost done with. The third floor, which doesn't really have much to it. That's where we're gonna get the big key, if you couldn't tell. And then we have the fourth floor, which just has the boss room. It's really kind of a disappointment. I still like this dungeon overall because it has some really nice music and stuff, but it's still kind of disappointing in a way. I mean, it's, I guess, a decently paced dungeon. I don't know. They really should have done something more of its size. Maybe add another pedestal, because there are 3 goddesses, so why are there only 2 pedestals and there are 3 statues? Oh god, I'm almost out of magic. Kinda wish I had Tingle, though. So I could use him to get more magic. So, I think that's just a joy pendant, but I'm gonna get it anyway. I wonder if I'll have enough magic to actually get back there. And I swear, if that was a magic pot it dropped, that would be horrible. That would just be the game's way of taunting me, really. Damn it, I can't reach that. Okay, I'm guessing there is just more arrows in that other pod, so... Oh, I have plenty of magic to get there. But I'm guessing when I use the Day Cleave again, it'll just become a twig. Of course, it won't give me magic. I don't need it, but it's still nice to have. And easy weight puzzles, easy. Because apparently links the weight of 2 statues. At least I believe you have to put 2 statues down. Yeah, I think you do. If you just put 1 down, then the scales will just get up to an even level, I guess. I don't think I could even make that if I did not have... Oh wow, there's no grappling hook thing in here. Thought there would be. I don't know if I could actually make that without having that little magic pot I found. Never showed this off, but this is what Link does when you take control of another character. And the statue also turns green. I don't exactly know why it has to turn green. Or what Link is exactly doing there. But it looks funny when he does it, I don't know why. Maybe it's that frown he has. And now, wizrobes. I don't know why Nintendo decided to make them look like pelicans. I seriously do not understand. Like, in every other Zelda game, they've looked more like actual wizards. Like, in Majora's Mask, they looked like elderly wizards, but wizards nonetheless. In... Okay, I didn't expect for that. But in A Link to the Past, they look more like demons than anything else. I don't know. All I know is that I actually had a hard time with the wizrobes in Majora's Mask, the first one you encounter. It actually killed me because in the second phase, I really did not know how to keep up with it so well. So I ended up always getting frozen by the time I reached it. And yeah, I died. It's one of the many embarrassing things I have in video games. Not like we all, it's not like none of us have any of that. I mean, it's not like any of you don't have any embarrassing game moments. You know, I just realized something. You don't really use the item of this dungeon as much as you do with the grappling hook and the boomerang from their respective dungeons. Like, you don't need to really kill some certain enemies or something. You kind of do, I guess, stun these things and deal with BMOs. But you don't really need it for that much of dealing with the dungeon itself. I don't know, I just thought I'd point that out there. And of course, the light that leads to the last part of the dungeon is purple. Or rather, pink. It kind of looks pink on the outside, but on the inside it looks more purplish. But of course, it has to be either of those colors in this game. And of course, the enemies are gonna come to life as soon as you do that. And that's how you're supposed to deal with the armors without them breaking out their stun so quickly. Seriously, I don't know why they were doing that before. If you wonder why I've been doing a few random cuts, my dog loves to bark whenever I'm recording. And I mean usually when I'm recording. Other times he'll just not really bark. That's the other variation of BMOs. They just shoot in one line. And arrows also make dealing with the birds easy. The bow is always a nice weapon to have in Zelda games, really. It's probably a fan favorite. At least one of my favorite. Next to the hook shot. And I thought I hit it there. Damn it. Okay, seriously, stop. What I also kind of like about this part is, as you get higher, the music actually gets like a bit quieter. Probably to hint at the boss fight here, even though the boss fight isn't really that much, and that thing dropping a fairy is random, actually. Could do with more arrows, but that should be fine. Are we talking to Jaboon or something? Because it sounds like we are. And this is the boss of the dungeon, Gohdan. I would say he's probably only non-evil boss in maybe the series, not counting some of the bosses in Twilight Princess who are being controlled by the Mirror of Twilight and the other Twilight. I believe you had a few shadows, etc. Oh, this fight. When he does that, just hope you're not like close to the edge. Otherwise, it's very easy to avoid. You don't have to worry about running out of arrows, because he will actually give them to you after you run out. I like the music for him, how it basically shifts like... Oh, I thought that hand was done. I should be almost out of arrows soon. It'd be nice if I could do it without losing arrows. Woo! Almost got hit there. I don't think you have to worry about running out of bombs here, unless you're really unlucky for some reason. I'm guessing he will drop bombs if you run out. Other than that, you have nothing to worry about. Whoa! Now with the hands, they can do that, and they can also push you into that, the outer... Whoa! Like that. Like, push you out into, the outer floor. No! Jeez, why are they spawning back so quickly? What I also don't like about when you run out of arrows is... your arrow, it won't, like, count. Like, what I don't like about you running out of arrows is... the game just disregards that arrow you shot. Which I think is kind of a dick move, really. Maybe not, but it's really just inconvenient. Oh, of course we run out of arrows there. Oh god! Jeez, that was overkill. And with that, no damage. That's still, I guess somewhat of a cut above Gohdan and, Kawai Demos. This is probably one of the only boss fights in any video game where I've never been hurt. That's still a decent boss fight in my opinion. Also, your elixir soup is useless here. Because you're not going to be using your sword, and really you can probably do without double damage for this boss fight because you're really just only using one less arrow. If it was to boost the power of your other weapons, which it doesn't. And I believe that is our first row of Harkahairs complete. Into the purple light. Into the purple light we go. So we're warped out of the Tower of the Gods, but you're actually nowhere to be found on the chart. Even though it still says we're on the Tower of the Gods. Interesting. Get on the ladder. And the final test of the gods is ringing a bell.